Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at the environment setup necessary for this course. So let's look at a list of tools that we'll need. So first is the Flutter Sdk, and then we have Git. So Flutter uses Git for installation and upgrade. So this is the dependency that Flutter needs. Next, we're gonna get Node.js. So the only reason we need Node is because we want to download an npm package called Surge, and this package will allow us to deploy our websites for free. Next, we're going to download VS Code, so you could use whatever editor that you want, but we will be using VS Code in this course. And then there are some useful plugins like the Flutter and Dart plugins for syntax highlighting and so on. And then I also like to use the Sublime Text Key Map, which gives us some shortcuts that will be very helpful. And then lastly, there's Android Studio and Xcode, which I put as optional because with the above setup, we can run Flutter for web. So we will be able to build all the apps that we're going to build, but just for web. So if you want to also build for Android and for macOS and iOS, then you would need to get Android Studio and Xcode. Now, if you're on a Windows laptop or a Windows device, you will not be able to get Xcode, but you will be able to download Android Studio. Okay, so let's look at downloading the Flutter SDK. So first we'll go to flutter.dev. And then at the bottom here, we'll click on Get Started. And then you'll see the different operating systems. So I'm using macOS, so I'll click on that. But in the slides, I have installation guides for Windows. Next, it says here, get the Flutter SDK. So first we'll download this. Once the download is complete, let's open the terminal. So click on Command plus spacebar and then type terminal. Now, if you've never worked with a terminal before, all it is a text representation of the file system of your computer. So you can see different directories, you can change directories and so on. So currently we're in the home directory, and you can see with this symbol right here, if you do ls, it will list all the directories within this home directory. You can see we have the desktop directory, documents, and so on. So here what they're saying is to change into the development directory. So you will likely not have it, and I don't have it as well. So we're going to create this directory first. So we're going to say make directory and then call it development. So this is just like creating a new folder. And now if we do ls again, you'll see that the development directory was created. Now let's cd into the development directory, and this is the first command right here. And next we need to unzip the file that we downloaded. So when we downloaded this, it was automatically downloaded into the downloads folder. So if we copy this command right here, it should unzip the file that we downloaded into the development directory. And this will take some time. So once that has completed, let's type ls, and we'll see that the Flutter directory was added. Now the next step is to add Flutter from the command line. So we'll be able to type Flutter, create, and then a project name, for example, to create a new project in Flutter. So this command should not work for you right now. So what we're going to do the next step is we're going to add it. Now here they have this command right here, but it says that this command sets your path variable for the current terminal window only. So it's only temporary. But to permanently add Flutter to your path, see update your path. So let's click on that. Now here they first say to check which shell you're using. So we can check that by typing echo and then $shell. So here I'm using the Z shell. So what they're saying is that if you're using bash, then you will edit the .bash profile or .bash rc, but if you're using Z shell, you'll edit this file instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and then here I'll type open and then tilde and then paste that. So I have already added the Flutter path here, but you should add this line. Now, in order to find where this belongs, just go back to your terminal and then type pwd. This stands for print working directory, and then it will give you a file path. So copy this and then paste it here, and then add /flutter/bin to it, and then save that. And then we can close it. And then here what they're saying is to run source and then home directory dot whatever file you just edited, and then that will refresh your current window. So let's do that. So here we'll do source and then tilde / dot zshrc. So that should refresh it for us, and then if we type which Flutter, we can see that it shows the directory Flutter. And now when we type Flutter, we can see some options popped up. So that means that our setup is complete. Now let's go back. So next, let's download Git. So if we click on the download link right here, it will take us to the Git download page. So here you can see we have macOS, Windows, and Linux, so use whatever platform you're using. And then if you click on download for Mac, it will give you the different options to download. So first one is Homebrew, Xcode, binary installer, and so on. So we're going to go with the Homebrew option. Now for that, you need to have Homebrew installed. So you need to open this link. And then after that, we want to install Homebrew. So let's copy this command right here, and then go to the terminal and then paste that. And then here it will ask for your password. So just type your password. And then after that, click enter to continue. And then it should download Homebrew for you. Now once Homebrew is installed on your machine, all you have to do is type brew install git. Now once that has installed, just check your installation by just typing git in the command line. And then if you see this pop up, then you know that git was installed. So next we have to download Node.js. So let's go on this link right here, and then you'll see the recommended for most users. Click on that. Once that is installed, let's go through the installer and click continue, continue, agree, install, type your password, and now Node should be installed on your machine. Now if you go back to the terminal and then type node-v, that means that the installation was complete. Now if you don't get that right away, maybe you will need to restart your terminal. Okay, so the next thing we need to install is Surge. So if we go back to the environment setup and then we go to the next page and then click on surge.sh. So Surge is a tool that will allow us to publish our websites. And then if you come here, all we need to do is type this command, npm install --global surge. Now we also need to add sudo at the beginning. So just go at the beginning and then type sudo. And then we'll type our password. And this should install the dependency. And now you should have Surge installed. Next, let's download VS Code. So let's come back here and then click on this link right here. And then click on download for Mac or whatever platform you're using. And that should download VS Code for us. Once that is done, let's unzip the folder. And you'll get this, and then open it, and then you should have VS Code. And then let's look at the different plugins that we need. So come down here for extensions and then type Flutter. And then click on that and then click on install. And then the next one will need Dart. And then install that. And then lastly, Sublime Text Schema. Click on this and then install that as well. Now the last two setup items are Android Studio and Xcode, which are both optional. So if you want to install Android Studio, just click on this link and then download Android Studio and then go through the agreement and download that. And if you're using Mac, you'll likely be using the Intel chip, but you can check that by clicking on About This Mac. And then here we can see that this is using Intel. Now if you've downloaded Android Studio, we need to set up a Flutter plugin. So let's click on Command plus Spacebar and then search for Android Studio. And then this will open up right here. So just click on Configure and then Plugins. And then here search for Flutter and then install that. And then once that is done, it will ask you to restart Android Studio. And then once that is completed, you will see this command right here which says create new Flutter project. And then you'll be able to create that, and then it will create a Flutter application. Now another thing we need to set up for Android Studio is the emulator. So here at the top you'll see the Android Virtual Device Manager. Click on that. And then here you can add a new device, so create virtual device. And here you can select whatever device you want, so we can select the Pixel 4 for example, and then click next. And then it will show us different operating systems that we can use. So we can click on R, so we can download that. And then you can wait for the download to complete, and then just click next and continue until the installer has completed. And then you'll be able to run apps on your emulator by clicking the play icon right here. But first we'd have to go to Device and then Open Android Emulator, and then wait for that to open, and then we can run the device on it. Now we won't be using Android Studio for the course, but we need Android Studio to be able to use the emulator in the first place. Now there are also some permissions that we have to set up, so go to the SDK Manager and then click on SDK Tools, and then make sure that you have the Android SDK command line tools installed and selected, and then click on OK to finish. And that's all the setup that we need for Android. Now if you want to check that your Flutter installation is complete, you can go to the terminal and then type Flutter Doctor, and it will show you everything that you have completed and everything that you're missing. So for example here it shows that we have Xcode, we have Android Studio, VS Code, and so on. For Xcode, now Xcode is only available on Mac OS, so to get it we will open the Mac App Store, so just click Command plus Spacebar and then type App Store, and then in the search bar in the top we can search for Xcode, and then you can click to install it. And that concludes the setup that we need for this course.